Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be planning a bird sanctuary. Yes, I have a lot of birds in my yard, and the last time I checked, I think I was up to 25 or so different species of birds that frequent my yard. And I know that's excellent because that really is very good. I do want to attract more, and I want them to stay when they come. And you do that by providing a habitat for them. So in this video today, we're going to talk about all the things that you need to do in order to provide a bird habitat in your yard. And by creating a sanctuary, that's my version of creating a particular spot that will have water, places for them to roost, places for them to nest and raise their young, as well as food sources. Now, I do have food throughout the yard. Let me put these things down. As you can see, I've already been busy digging up some of the transplants that I'm putting in this section, so excuse the mess. So what do I mean when I say creating a bird sanctuary? Well, I am looking to add a bird bath for a water source. I've also located the sanctuary right in front of our creek. Our creek runs right back here, and so there'll still be water. So there'll be a bird bath here, and then there'll be a water source there. Another thing that I did is I located it next to where there is a tree, and then there are mature shrubs over there in order for them to have a place to run and hide from predators, as well as to build nests. So there is that. I have one birdhouse here on this tree over here, and then I have a couple of other birdhouses coming that will actually be put on posts in this corner here to create the sanctuary. I'm going to have plants that leave berries, plants that leave seed heads like black-eyed Susan, echinacea, as well as some grasses, and leave the grass standing in the fall for them. I purchased this grass. It's called dwarf Hamlin fountain grass. I purchased this from Home Depot. I'm going to divide it probably in 3 or 4 pieces and put that in the garden for them as well. So having grasses, having birdhouses, having a water source, as well as having places for them to hide and make their nests are all important. And so having evergreen interest gives them a place to hide even when some of your deciduous shrubs have lost their leaves. And when the trees are without leaves, they still have a place to seek. Let me go through the plants that were sent to me so generously by Southern Living Plants, and then I'll share a few of the other things I'm adding, and then I'll get to planting. So besides the fountain grass, which I purchased, I also purchased this is a sunshine ligustrum that I purchased to add to this area to pull in a lot of the yellows that you will see at this end. I also have some whites, and will eventually add some pinks to kind of cool it off a little bit. So you have the yellow from this that I purchased from Lowe's. It was on clearance. It is sunshine ligustrum, hardy to zone 6 through 10. And it gets 3 to 6 feet high by 3 to 4 feet wide. Now you can prune it to keep it under control, but I think I want it to be a nice shrub right there to anchor this space. So we're going to put that right there. The next plant that I received from Southern Living Plants is this Encore azalea, and it's called Autumn Embers. It is hardy, zone 6B through 10, and it can get 3 feet high to 3.5 feet wide, and it blooms a red-orange color. So you'll see we'll have some color on this end besides yellow, and it likes light shade to full sun. It'll be getting mostly full sun over here. I've already laid out how I want these plants to be. So I'm just taking them from their spaces and putting them back. The next plant is this red sky holly. It is a pencil thin holly, which is great. It is hardy. Zones 6 through 9, gets 8 feet high and 3 feet wide, and it likes light shade to full sun, which is what it'll get over here. I like these little reddish tips on top, so that'll complement nicely with the azalea, as well as one of the other arborvitaes that I received. The next plant is this holly. It is Touch of Gold holly, and what's really nice about it is it only gets to be 2 feet tall and about 4 feet wide. So it'll be low and spread. So it'll take up this nice corner right here where I'll put it. It also has a hardiness zone of 6 to 9. So a wide difference, and I'm in zone 7B, so it fits perfectly. Isn't the color on this stunning? And I feel like it'll play nicely with this evergreen that I have, and I'll show you everything how it comes together once I get it planted. Another thing that I received is this Carrick grass. It's called the Everest. It is green with a white edging, and isn't that stunning? I'm going to divide this and plant a few pieces to edge this bed here. I received 2 of those. The next plant that I received was this Lucky Charm Boxwood. The Lucky Charm Boxwood is hardy to zone 9 from zone 5, so 5 to 9. It gets 2.5 to 3 feet high by 2.5 to 3 feet wide, and it's full sun to part shade. So right here needs a structured element, so I'm putting the boxwood there. The last item that I was sent was this Fire Chief Arborvitae. Isn't the color in this beautiful? What I really like about it is the fact that it encompasses all the colors that came in the mix that I received. The yellows, the little touch of red, and of course, green. And what's nice about this is it's an evergreen. So all winter long, I'll have this nice interest at this end of the yard. Let's see. Other plants that I'll be adding includes this Aster. This is a puff aster. It is considered a mounding perennial. It's hardy to zones 5, and it grows to a height of 24 inches by 24 inches. So isn't that pretty? Almost like mini daisies. So I have 3 of these that I'm going to plant in a drift. I have 2 of these dahlias that I had in my big urns in the memorial garden, the circle garden where lots of the roses are. I'm going to actually put these in the ground because my dahlias overwinter in ground here in Georgia where I live. I just mulch everything and they come back year after year. So I need to get this in the ground so it can settle in before our first frost. And so I'm going to plant these 2 down here. I'm going to put one on that end, one on this corner. I also have some crinum lilies as well as some gladioli. And I'll put all the names of the items on the screen for you with the information that you need. I'll have links to the plants from Southern Living below if you want to also purchase those. All right, let's get busy planting. Won't this be a stunning color? once it blooms again next year. Look at it next to this fire chief. Isn't that pretty? And then look at it next to the holly. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I thought so. So I'm going to put this pencil holly here because it'll grow up nice and tall. This tree will come down, so this will have nuts. So anyway, y'all, I like to fill the hole with water, especially if I'm planting in the summer. And I know that it's technically fall because today is September 24th. But guess what? It's 85 degrees even at the time of this planting. And so I want to give it a nice drink because this ground was really dry that I was planting in. Let's get you situated. Fill back in the hole. Okay, that's planted. Let's get started on this autumn embers. Now let's look at what we worked on together. As you can see, everything is planted up. Everything got a nice drink last night because I watered before going to bed. And then we had a lot of dew, so it's looking really pretty. There is that sunshine ligustrum. This is that autumn embers azalea. There is that holly. This Hamlin grass, the dwarf Hamlin grass. This dahlia that I need to stake. Look at how that holly just pops. And the Everest Carrick grass. Look at how beautiful that is dotted along the border of this bed. I planted that Lucky Charm boxwood here. I transplanted this Echinacea purpurea from elsewhere. It's looking a little rough, but it'll be fine. I transplanted these peacock orchid gladiolas here, and behind it is a crinum lily. So they'll take turns blooming, but it'll fill in this section right here. I added some autumn joy sedum from elsewhere in the garden, and it's really looking good. I'll show you a better picture of why I did that. I added the 3 asters in a little drift here. And then probably the star for me is the holly and this fire chief arborvitae. I have 3 of these, and they go down and they just pop out the landscape. The last one is right here. I also cleaned up a lot of the black eye Susans in this bed, and I'll be pulling out for a couple of years, but I feel so much better about the progress of removing the black eye Susans from this bed, as well as the obedient plant. There's one that I need to pull. Here's another Echinacea purpurea that is transferred. So you're going to have pops of purple, white, pink, and yellow in this bed. There's another of the dwarf grasses. And then I added more of the grass here, and the last piece is at the end of this bed. As you can see, more black eye Susan was removed. I still have some more to get out here and here. More of the Carex. I transplanted a hibiscus here, so I'm going to definitely clean this out so the hibiscus has space to grow next year. I transplanted this lilac. I transplanted this lilac bush right here. It's going to grow in. It is a lavender color. And then I also added some autumn joy sedum here. And the last of the fire chief arborvitae is here. There's the last of the grass. I just want to show you just how good everything looks. Remember when we started, there was nothing down at the bottom? There was nothing back here. And now, I mean, some of the stuff looks pitiful because it's the end of the season, like this peony. And the dahlia, didn't like being moved. But if I didn't move it now, I wouldn't have been able to move it when I returned from my trip. So it's just got to suck it up and deal with it, right? I'm very happy with the work that I've done so far. Still, obviously, some work to do, some more plants to add. I still have to finish adding rocks to this bed to border it and mulch. And I think then it'll look nice and good. Thank you for joining me as we work together to get this portion of this bed together and to create a sanctuary for the birds in the garden. Stick around because I will be adding bird baths as well as the birdhouses and bird feeding station to this area as the bird sanctuary comes together. Until next time, happy gardening.